What's going on in search? So this is a little video series I like to do where we will go and search a keyword in Google, and then we will see what is kind of happening in the search results, right? Why are certain pages ranking above others? What are some people doing that maybe I'm not considering, maybe you should be considering? And so let's go and do let's do plumber. Let's do plumber. Not Fort Worth. Let's do Austin. And so first thing we can see 17K reviews, 307 reviews. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on the profile. And then this is a little Chrome extension called Plumber that will show you a whole bunch of information about the Google My Business profile. And what's interesting here is that so for their website URL, they have a UTM on it so that they know where the clicks are coming from. So we can already tell that this business is tracking attribution. They're trying to figure out where the clicks are coming from. And that's not necessarily like a ranking factor or anything, but it's just interesting to track. Another thing is you can see this appointments right here. This just goes to the home page. All right, let's click. Interesting. So they saw that I'm in Canada and rerouted to this page. That's really interesting. I'm curious what happens if I do www. So it doesn't reroute me. That's interesting. Now we're gonna do a new incognito mode. Let's try this. Interesting. Still, it reroutes me. Well, anyways, so let's go and look here. Let me take a screenshot. We're going to take some screenshots of these just so we can document everything. What's also interesting is as we watch this, they have 5 categories. 5 categories. HVAC contractor makes sense as the primary, air conditioning contractor, electrician, heating contractor, plumber. That all makes sense. And if we go all the way down here, they have 118 services. Looks like they're doing AC systems maintenance, repair, heating system installation, and we can see that they have these variations, right? So if we were to consider heating system as the like top level keyword, then they have all these variations here with these third words, and you're almost getting into long tail keyword. Like even right here, HVAC duct and venting cleaning and vent cleaning, that's 4 or 5 keyword or words right there. You're getting a long tail almost. It's something to consider. Also seeing that they do this for almost every service as they get these different variations. So then, so under the HVAC, they have all of this. Now, when we plumber, we can see all of these. Interesting. Electrician, they've got all of these as well. So then let's close out of that. And let's go and look at their photos. These are really good photos. They got photos of the van, or not the van. What is this? Oh, is this them? Is that them labeling it? Why is that little thing at the bottom? What? Okay, hold on. Let's inspect this. Let's go to response. Let's make this just a little. Oh, actually, no, that's fine. Let's close Plepper just so we can see this a little bit easier. Okay, so this is the div. This has the image in it. And then we have this little tagline here. That's interesting. So, where is this tagline coming from? I wonder I wonder if the business is able to put that description. Probably. That's probably where it's coming from. But this is super interesting. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this element and I'm gonna write this down in some notes on Notion. Let's see here. Move this over. Notion open new. We're gonna go over here, full width, and then we're gonna title the show. What's going on in search? And today we're doing plumber. Awesome. We'll get some screenshots going. Trying to figure out how they have this little tagline. So then we're also going to copy this element, put this over here. We're gonna do a toggle so that way it does not take up the whole page. We'll do that, and then we'll go in here and we'll paste our image. And this will be for something later to come back and try to figure out how they're getting that text. So we'll go ahead and close this, and then we'll keep looking through all their photos. I need a refresh. So then here again, so what's interesting is noticing that we can see that Victoria uploaded this image, right? And there's no tagline. And when we go over here, when it's uploaded by the business, it has the tagline. So this is leading me to believe that they wrote these. Again, we just have more customer photos. So here's an image, but they don't have the tagline. And then we're just going to we're going to keep looking. Technicians cleaning an air duct. Playing. And I'm also curious if all of the photos they've taken and added taglines, if they have one for each that addresses the services they have listed on the profile, because that would be gold. A Radiant Austin plumber going to install a new water heater. They've got some really good photos. Probably why they're ranking number one. So then we go down here. They have the services listed. Appointments just takes them to the home page. Then if we go here, they have that UTM parameter on it. They've got their service area. And then we can see here that they have social media updates. And so we can see the latest posts that they have on Facebook. Then we scroll down here. Then we got all those things. So, oh wait, you know what I just realized? This is in Ottawa, Ontario. This isn't in Austin. Whoops. So then let's go down here to this one. And this one's probably ranking above because, oh wait, no, I was looking at Radiant. Um, then we'll go look at this one. And this one's just ranking higher because uh, proximity. So now we'll go look at Plum and Order. See, so they for their website link, they don't have the UTM parameter. Have no point. This is interesting. So this one has the appointments URL set, and it takes them to the website. This one doesn't, right? So let's close out of this. We can see these little icons right here. This one does not have the appointment set, but when we click on it, we can be taken to these. And we can also see there's this about these providers. So this takes us to their contact page, which makes sense. And then this takes us to their dispatch.me, which I have no idea what this is. So we'll cancel, close that. We can go and look at their services. Let's see. I'll have to refresh to see if Plepper will come back. Sometimes it takes a minute for Plepper to come back up. Where's Plepper? We'll just look at the services that they have listed. Nowhere near as many as the other one. But again, we can see that they have these slight variations of the keywords or the services people are looking for. Plumbing leak repair, plumbing pipe repair, sewer. We can see the service areas. Okay. So then let's go down and show more businesses. Let's see what this one's going on. Drain cleaning. Okay, so Plepper's back. So let's go back to this one and see. So they have 45 services. Address is hidden. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, they have their address hidden. So they have their profile as a service area based business. So if they had a physical brick and mortar location somewhere where they house all of their equipment and stuff, they should definitely switch this from a service area based business to having a commercial location based. These are really good photos. I'm wondering if they could have done what the previous plumber did and add these little labels or little context text onto each of these photos. But we can even see that Google is labeling these. These have a little bit of text, but we can see up here pipe by owner, inside latest. Let's go back to this one. Does this one have the same thing? By owner inside. I'm wondering if Google's considering inside, just like inside a building or inside the commercial location. But we won't know because if Google's considering it inside just by that descriptor, then anything that's inside a building, it goes there. That's interesting. So then we'll go to latest. Crazy there to see. Okay. So then we'll go to Rooterman Plumbing. Let's see what they're doing. Does this work? Book online. Okay. So then let's go back to this one. It doesn't have book online. I can call them. But if I go here, they have book online, website directions, call, share, save. Let's go back to this one. Does this one have book online? It does. So we have that. Let's see. Okay. There we go. There is the menace list of 118 services. And or it needs to rotate. Let's see. Now it has router. So this one has 108, but it only has one, two, three categories, and they're different. Let's see. Do they have? So I click appointments. So if I click appointments, I get these three. But if I close this and I click book online, I only get these two. Service Titan and Scorpion. But then when I go appointments, I get the website with a location URL. I get Service Titan and I get Rooterman of Austin. And this is a scheduling appointments URL. So what happens if we go to this? So it asks me for my address. Is that auto-populated? So hold on. So let's take this URL. Let's remove all of this extra stuff. We will take it and we will go to the website without the URL string. And notice how we've gotten a completely different chat here to interact with. This one's already opened up and it's asking me my address. This one is giving me the default. So what happens if I click book? If I click book and I do this, I'm taken here. The URL hasn't changed, but when I click this link, fed this fat URL, and it takes me to this, which is interesting. Is Google crawling this session? Is this indexed? So it's not indexed. Let's see. What happens if we get rid of the www? That's not indexed. What if we get rid of the HTTPS? Not indexed. Okay. So then let's just get rid of the scheduling. Let's get it. The scheduling. Let's just try this. Not indexed images. It knows who. So let's go back. Go back to search for this. Nothing. That in quotes. Nothing. Question mark. Okay. Well, that's good news. Okay. Let's go look at these. Now, these just may be third-party providers. Oh, that's interesting. So we got redirected. So this is routerman.com / Greater Austin is the URL. But then when we click it, we get redirected to Routerman of Austin. So then what happens if we just go routerman.com? Do we get redirected? No, we don't. This is okay, so we're not redirected. This and then there's no chat window or chat bot in the bottom right. Is this the exact same website? Here, we'll close this. It's pretty much the same. Now, is this just a top level domain because they own full locations? So let's see. If we go here, this URL doesn't work. Right? So what I'm gonna do is remove all the extra URL stuff. Okay. So routermangta.com does not exist. What happens if we get rid of www? I still get redirected to /land. Okay, so that's something to take note of. So we'll go over here. Let's scroll up a little bit. Go over here, Routerman of Austin. So something we can notice is that the top level domain has the area they serve in. So then let's go to these other locations that they have. So then now it's Ruderman-Hamilton.ca, and their location is Hamilton. That's interesting. That's a pretty smart move, is to have all of these domains. So then can I do Austin, or let's do United States. So we'll do United States, and we'll see that they have a whole bunch of locations, which is now making it pretty obvious just because of everything else that we've experienced. And then if we go through here, so this is interesting. So this one, they do not have a different top level domain with the location. They have a folder instead /maze. So what about this one? Omaha. So these are all okay. So here's one. That's interesting. Is this just an old URL that's no longer good? This might have been like the old version of the website. Also, this is really smart. Just I have a wall of text. What is this? Is this WordPress? This is WordPress. This is super interesting. What is this? This is an iframe. So ClientHouse Pro call reviews widget. What? Let's go look at this. What is? Can we just target the very specific URL? Let's. So we target this specific URL and we're met with this page. And as we scroll, things are looks like lazy look. So what happens if we go and inspect this? Okay. So then where is it pulling? How are we getting this data? Is my question. Let's see if we can figure out how they're getting this data. Like, okay, so that's that. That's that. And what is this? Okay. Well, I'll have to look at that later, but that's interesting. This is a really smart way to get a whole bunch of text on the page, by the way, is to have all of your reviews on this page. Then we will go back over here. That's still interesting that they have. So this is a different domain. You know, like in a screenshot because it looks different. And I'm also questioning. So what happens if we get rid of this really long URL? So what happens if we take this URL and we search that, that in there? And so they also have Facebook profiles for each city. Okay. This is interesting. I'm trying to see what else is in Google related and relating to this company. So it looks like they may have taken an ad out here. Go back over to search. This is also a common thing, the CDN website, which looks like it's San Vincent Valley News, which looks like it's the newspaper or like a local ad or something from the city, which is interesting. So maybe a while ago they bought ads in there. There's another one. Yeah, great. I don't know what that is. Then we'll just go back over here. And we can see that they've got, there's a whole bunch of plumbing stuff. Plumbing content from Instagram. So what we're starting to see is more and more that they have all of these different top level domains. Like if we look at this, but what's also interesting to me is that each website is just slightly different. Like I don't know if these are like legacy versions or what's going on of why these are all different. So, or maybe is this a franchise? And that's why? Yes. Okay. There we go. Figured it out. They're a franchise. And so, uh, and that's why each one does, I guess in this franchise, each person has to take care of their own website. That's okay. Well, I could keep going, but we're already at 30 minutes. So I'm going to stop here. And this is just another episode of what's going on in search and how you can go through Google search, search your top level keywords or just keywords maybe you haven't looked at and see like what is causing them to rank. What are they doing? How do they have their websites constructed? And you can really learn a lot and see the different ways people are applying SEO to their websites and their GMBs.